Forza! Venite tutti a Udine per il Paris Film Festival!
For me, because it's my first time to join a film festival, so I think it's amazing and very exciting. I very love this festival because it provides me a good chance to put my film in the big screen, and I really love the audience here. I hope I have chance to come here again.
I think to describe this film festival, I would use the word touching. I was really touched by the audience. I mean, who watch our film, yes, because this is a small town, and then the people is very nice to us. I mean, and I really feel happy to be here, honestly.
Yeah, I feel the same, and I'm really impressed by the whole film festival. And I think it's a Will Film Festival that helps them West meets East. It's really like a cultural exchange. I'm really impressed.
I think the Fresh Wave actually, give us a chance to make this movie. I mean, they provide us budget and to provide us a screening chance. This is very important to us. I mean, as an independent filmmaker, they give me budget. It means the two core of our film, you know. And after that, also we got a tutor, director's tutor, which is a professional one, is working in fields for like 20 or 30 years. This is very important part for us because we are still learning how to make a movie. I mean, their advice and all the opinion is really good experience to our filmmaking in this short duration. Honestly, so I have to say thanks to the Arts Development Council. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Fresh Wave is a really good platform for us because the whole package is very substantial. We have the funding, we have everything actually, and I think I tried to make use of this chance as a motivation for me to make at least one film in my life, you know. But I think it is the starting point. You have to action, and then so I really thanks to ADC and also Fresh Wave gave me a chance, and everything just follows up. And for the experience of Fresh Wave, actually it's kind of a mix and match. It's like a mixing flavor for me because, for example, at the beginning, it's kind of not many friends like very supporting because maybe it's because my issue is kind of very social political, and it is not really they didn't care about this issue before, but after I tried to explain to them and persuade to them, and then later on I get more and more supporting, and then more and more people are helping me. I think it's like fluctuating situation, and all in all, I have to thank all the people who supported me and who didn't actually, because they motivate me more to persuade more people to support. So the whole process is really good experience. Yeah, not only for shooting or filming, but also for like how to persuade your ideas to others or how to work with other people. This is also a very good experience for me.
My advisor is Marble Zhang. She is a very good director and very kind and helped me a lot. Especially in the pre-production, because we have a limit of time to write our script, just about 1 month and 1.5 months to finish our full script. And then in the beginning, sometimes I will don't know how to start to write a scene of the story. And then in the first meeting with Marble Zhang, and then she give me lots of confidence and tell me how to start, and then what's the main point for a scene or for the whole story. And then she give me some clues or some tips, and then I learned a lot from her. And one unforgettable experience is I remember one time because the meeting time is not enough, maybe just half hours, and then but she spent the half hour to watch my first cut. But after watch the first cut, and then we have to leave because the meeting just hold about half hours, and then she hasn't give me the opinions, and then she is very good because I remember about in the midnight she called me and then spent about half and 2 hours to give me her opinions on my first cut, and I think that experience make me very touching, because she really pay attention on my production, and then she really helped me a lot. So I also take this a chance to thank her.
Say the meeting with the tutor is a lifetime experience. I mean, with famous directors, honestly, and the experience is like I already wrote a complete script to him, and then he already read it. I mean, and then we meet for like about 2 hours, and then he actually he can see things before it happens. I mean, because he see through all the problem of my script, and I mean, for example, from the character point of view and the plot. I mean, is it smooth? I mean, is it make sense? I mean, and he also inspired me to think in the opposite way. And in the pre-production section, he also helped a lot, because we got some very complicated scenes, for example, car crash and that kind of thing. And actually, he has no idea how I could make it, honestly, because from that budget wise, I mean, he think that okay, if you wrote this script, are you seriously? He asked me, because as a professional filmmaker, he think that it's still difficult to do it with. Yeah, that's true. He said that it maybe involve some stunt and also involve some computer graphics, that kind of thing. So I mean, I said to him, if I wrote this, I mean, I know how to make it, because I explained to him at that moment, and then he listened very carefully. And for example, the car crash scenes, I mean, we actually do that by camera reverse skill and also a lot of different editing skill. And then I talked this part to him, and then he said, okay, that may work. And without any dangerous stunt, you know. So I mean, this is very comfortable conversation to him. And after the movie finished, I mean, I bring my first cut to him, and then he watch it. He is amazed, honestly. And then okay, with that budget, with that all limitation, you could do that way. I mean, it's okay. But I mean, he give a lot of advice of the editing to help the story, not only the skill. I mean, he's not talking about, oh, the shot is not smooth and it's jump cut or something. No, he's talking about the whole storytelling, the thinking of it. So I mean, I do a second cut and I show him, and then he approve it. Yeah, this is very good experience to me. A learning process. I mean, very touching one. Yeah.
I express my heartfelt thanks to my tutor. I would love to give the credit to Arts Development Council, the Fresh Wave, the organizers, because I think they assign the mentors like not randomly. They are trying to assign them to different topics maybe, or to different personalities. But because I was really lucky that I have Herman Yao, my mentor, because recently he's making movies relating to social political things too, and my movie is about that. So we can share a lot about the issues, not only the technical things. So it's like the concept. It has to be really clear. I mean, it's really clear that we talked about this, and actually it's quite interesting for me, because I think Herman Yao has a kind of tactics in dealing with different people. Because for me, I was. And first few meeting, he just let me talk. He just let me express my feelings, and he just say 1 or 2 lines. Okay, you know what you are going to do, so just do it. This is the only lines that he gave to me, and at first I was like confused. Why didn't he like give me more ideas or more suggestions? And then, but later on, I think it works for me very well, because I think because he's a master, you know. And then whatever he said, whatever he's like given any suggestions, I would just take it without any maybe thoughtful mind. Then I think it's really he's trying to help myself to do what I want, and of course in the sense that he thinks it's okay. So actually the more we talked is about almost the first time we talked more is about the first cut has been done, and then he gave me more comments. I think at that stage is more fruitful for between us. So and until now, actually, we still have some connections. And then he's still trying to do the same thing on me. It's like he's just asking me questions. I just express, and then just let me do it. And then yeah, this is a very good relationship between us. Yeah.
Sure, I have experience like that. Actually, before be a director, I'm actress. Because I remember when I was in secondary school, uh, the production team in our school asked me to be an actress in a short story, and then at that time, I uh, I the experience is not good because the director just give me a few lines and then okay you start and then oh because I'm not experienced actress and then oh how can I do and then they start to he start to blame me you should like that and then oh no idea so and then I start at that point and if I have chance to be a director and then I s- um I will not do like that uh and then that kind of experience let me next time I should be taking your role and then I can do better than you and then luckily after 2 years and then he left the our school and then I have a chance to really to take his role and then I feel good now I can control the whole production. And then, of course, I also learn how to communicate with our crew member and the actors and or actress because my sometimes bad experience from that director. And so just because this experience and then I have a small dream, I should be a good director.
My experience is a little bit different. When before I came to film school, I already know that I should be a filmmaker, but I don't know which role. At that time, I'm thinking I was going to be a cinematographer. And when I was in film school, I'm really interested in the camera works, like loading film and then checking the light, that kind of thing. And but until a workshop, we have in school we have a 2 minutes film workshop, and we every student have to shoot their own shot in one day with 16 shots limitedly, and they gave us a movie script. From a feature, only a scenes, and then we try to shoot that part, and but at that day I don't know the exactly what I'm doing. Honestly, I was a mess, just going around and then and organize all the thing. I mean, because I don't know the role of a director. I just go around. I mean, tell the camera what to do, and then not really organizing it. But after that, my director's teacher, come to tell me, you should be director. Yeah, he said that you know what you're doing, but you need more improvement, of course. And after that, I become a learner from him. His name is called Danny Hiller. He's a very famous director in a lot of BBC movie. And after that, it's a long period, like 8 months. He's preparing for his feature. I'm following him and do some pre-production work until our graduation film project. I pitched as a director for only 3 days, and after that 3 day experience with the crew, with the actors, and all the thing, and okay, this is the happiest moment of my life. That's only 3 days, and I think that I should carry on to make my life more happier. Then so that's the experience.
For me, it was a punishment by my high school teacher to make me to be a director, because she said that I was too talkative and and always asking weird questions in the lessons, kind of like challenging her. And then she was like, because there was a competition, and then she was like assigning me, okay, Mo, you have to be the director because you always talk too much and you always questioning different things. Your ideas is kind of weird. Just put it on another thing, not in the lesson. So I was like, okay, so I was regarding that as a punishment, but I think she's not. Of course, she's like trying to motivate me to do something, and then when I started like writing script and then expressing my ideas to my friends, I feel I'm really excited. My heart beats like really fast. It's like I can. It was weird that I feel like that, and then I love that kind of feeling. It's like I'm really existing. So from that point, I started to work on more like writing script things, or firstly on the like theater directors, same maybe as Heidi's like working with friends and directing people to how to act, and also later on I also became an actress too. And then how to be a film director is like when I was in university, and then it is also because another professor actually, and then there was one time that I would love to shoot on a political, no, maybe social issue. It's like about prostitution, and then the whole school was like banning me this idea because they think it's too dangerous for a girl to do this, and also they think it's very dangerous to take the university's stuff to those dangerous area. And then there was one professor. He was like, okay, if you really want to do it, you have the passion, and I will try to borrow my camera to you. And I think, yeah, I was really touched. And then I was thinking, okay, if I really want to do something, and then there are a person like this supporting me, I have to do it. And then I start to do what I really want to do. I try to keep the passion, and then try to finish the things that I would love to. So I continued different kind of works until now. Yeah.
My film is about my personal experience when I was a journalist. As I said, before I turned myself into a filmmaker, I was a journalist. So in that time, I really express. I really feel have the experience of being a journalist. To accident scenes, and I also read a lot of the newspaper headlines. I'm not sure about the situation in Italy, but in Hong Kong, all of the headlines are sensational story, like sex and violence. And I really feel sorry about the deaf people. If you are one of the family, maybe that's your mother, what will you do? So my film is about decision making, about your gory and your conscious. Press the shutter. You're making one decision, and then what's follow? Yeah, you know what I mean. It's about ethics problem. This one. So I'm trying to make it as a mockumentary. Yeah, you know what I mean. Because do you really believe the news channel they give you is truth, is real? So I make a mockumentary to fake you, And the question you asked about the generation, I'm reflecting the age of the digital and analog. Yeah, because I'm thinking because as a war photographer in the 70s, it's between life and death. You take the picture, you may lose your life, Yeah, and also you only have a roll of a film in your camera. Each press of the shutter counts. You have to make the decision to take that decisive moment. It's not about using digital. Continuously chop. No, it's not like that. It's you making the decision or the machine taking the decision. Yeah, nowadays, about the digital camera, you can just go back home and watch it. Okay, which one is good? It's not like that. So I did a lot of research of the war photographer. So I really inspired by them and touched. The story really touching. So I make this movie. Yeah.
Yeah, for my film, it was inspired by a true event in Hong Kong, like happened in 2010. The government, they decided to build a railway right through a village from mainland to Hong Kong, and then because of that, it caused hundreds of people like being homeless temporarily, and then it's under the name of development, And I was moved by this event, and I was thinking, what can I do for this, and or for the villages, or for this issue? I want more people to care about this issue, this kind of issue, because not many people knowing this event. And so I made up a story about a grandpa and a granddaughter, which she said actually is like two generations, because upon this issue there are a big clash between the young generations and old generations, because they have different prosperities. The old generations maybe, yes, we have to develop, we have to make Hong Kong like a worldwide city, and the young generation would maybe thinking, no, this is very valuable for us. We should not do this. We should not tear down this. We love this place. We have to maintain the things that we can. So, but I think the main thing is we should have a certain kind of connection or make a balance between these two generations. Not like, okay, you or what you said is perfect, or what you said is totally wrong. It's not like that. In between, we have to have a kind of connection, which is, I said, is the plus. So my name is 1+1. It means like trying to make the the two generations or different generations connecting to each other, and also not only generations. I think it's maybe it's about maybe the government and the people. It's recently Hong Kong actually we have a lot of protesting, demonstrating on different issues. I think the most important thing is we should have dialogues. Of course we should express like the people and also the government. They should hear us. So that's the dialogue. And I also try to put it in my film. Is there's a lot of dialogues between the grandpa and the granddaughter. So so I was trying to make a story to try to deal with different issues like social political issues in Hong Kong. Yeah.
My story, the title is So. I think you can think the summary of the story by the title, because so you can mean it's a crack, or you can mean it's a link, it's an action to link cracks together. It's double meaning. Actually, my story is about the family relationship, include the generation gap, and why I create this story. Actually, part of the story is my personal experience, a little part, and most of the content is come from my friends or from the news. And before I create the story, because I see there is changing in the society, because the development of the technology, for example, the iPad, the iPhone is great, and I saw lots of youngsters spend lots of time on the technology, and then they seem spend fewer time to communicate with the old generation. For the other part is some youngsters spend time on their hobbies or their special interests, for example, cosplay or animation or filmmaking like me, or some of them reading, etc. Sometimes they will pay attention on their interests, but they will ignore the old generation at home. Because I have some experience, because sometimes I will focusing on my work, and then I don't realize my grandmother is actually do a lot behind me. For example, just like she cook a wonderful dinner for me, but I will say, I'm very busy, you have the dinner first. Actually, I think a few sentences, I think she is really hurt, because they really do, although it's a small things, but she do it from her heart. So that's why I create this story, I want to use a small instance to arouse youngsters or the whole society to think and pay more attention on the old generation. So and why I use cosplay as a tool, because the theme of family relationship is it's not popular. The theme of about relationship of family is very common in Hong Kong. There are lots of film production about that. How can I especially attract the youngsters? And then I think I need to find something they like, they think is special to attract them. Then I choose cosplay. But after I choose cosplay, I also face lots of obstacles, because I'm not a cosplayer and I not even see animation. So in the beginning, especially writing the scripts, I need to spend lots of time to do research, and then get to get information, and then luckily I can finish the production, and I hope the effect of the movie can be spread, and then the youngsters really understand the meaning, and then we think.
Actually, just finished an extension of my short film, because my short film 1+1 is about the happenings before the village being demolished. And then there was one time I came back to the village, and then the whole thing was like totally changed. Everything has gone, and there was one moment I stood at the same spot where I was having the same shot. I was like, oh my god, how could it like change? Like it's like it has been over a war. You know what I mean? It's like everything is like it's a mess, and the greenish became like brownish, and I was really like I don't know. It's like I have the impact very strong. So I decided the story is not ending, and I have more things to say, and I have more feelings to express. So yeah, I just finished the extension part. It's like now it became a feature length, and then now I'm working on the post production stage. And also for the future projects, I have different ideas in mind, and I'm writing script about one is about a fat little short girl living in a very very tiny space in Hong Kong, because Hong Kong's land is very very expensive, and actually there's a lot of people living in like a very small space, and then it's like a comparison with her body. It's like she's kind of fat, she's kind of and also this kind of girl is always like teasing by others, because we have different names, different labels for girls in Hong Kong. So yeah, I've one of the ideas is about this, and I'm writing the script on this. And also there's another script written already. Another stage director, he wants to make his script into film. It's about education, and then it's about there's only last kids in a village school, in a village primary school, and then yeah, it's about dealing with the education system in Hong Kong. So mainly these two ideas, and the extended version of 1+1. Yeah.
You are asking about the future. I want to know too, honestly. Recently, I'm involved in a feature film project because of the flash wave. Because directors watch my film, and then he think that I might help to learn how to do a feature. So he's give us a chance to do a feature film right now, and I'm still writing on it. So I mean, in my mind, I already have a few ideas going on, but I mean, it's not written it yet. But I mean, I hope. I mean, after this feature film project, I will try to shoot this one. Yeah.
Thank you. Honestly, if you ask me my future of filmmaking, I think filmmaking can only be my hobby or interest in this stage. Why? Maybe, yeah, because actually, why I reach this film industry is because in my secondary school, I joined just like interest groups there, because my secondary school is an interest group about video production, and then my interest is developed from that interest group. But after I joined the group, I faced lots of pressure and or burden from my family, because they said that you can't make money from this interest or from this job, and then actually I can ignore their opinions, and then I can do what I want to do, but I can't, because I have 6 siblings in my home, and then my family really sorry. My father and mother spend their whole life to support 6 siblings. After my secondary school, and I continue keep filmmaking as my hobby, and then I join lots of competition. Sometimes I can won the prize, and then get got award and some money from the competition. Yeah, and then my parents said, oh, you can earn money from the competition, yeah. And then maybe they at that time their mind also change. I think they said maybe you have good talents in this, and 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 I think at that point they are not support they are not really support me, but at least they don't 反对
Against you?
not they did not against me. And then I think it's a good from my point of view, it's a good support for me already. So luckily, and in the university, I can continue to study filmmaking, and after that, I after graduation, and I need to find a full-time job. My full-time job is a web designer, but and but I really want to continue to work on filmmaking. So I still find lots of chance to find some film festival or some film competition to join, and then of course Festway is my chance, and then luckily I can join Festway. And after I joined this competition, I realized my parents is starts to change, and because I also get a chance to go to overseas, and then at that time I think they might also change. In this trip, they really support me. My father also go to the airport with me and say lots of good things to me. So I'm really thank you my parents, and so in future because the family and because my hobby, I need to make the balance. And so at this time in future I will continue to keep my full-time job, and then if I have time I will continue on filmmaking. Maybe after a few years, if I can earn enough money, then I can totally use my full heart to work in film industry.
Big, you can say, okay.
Yeah, of course, from small budget and then to big budget. I believe at that time my family will also support me. Then I hope I can be another star in the film industry. Yeah, thank you.